What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another comic book review. My name is Chris, and today I have Justice League number 2. And this is the standard cover, and this is the Jim Lee, which is pretty dope. Badass Martian Manhunter cover there. And like I've said before, the almost virgin variants from DC are absolutely perfect. Just absolutely beautiful. What to say? I really don't have much to say about it, to be honest. Especially after I gave, number 1 such a amazing review. I thought this one was pretty lackluster. And that's saying a lot. For me to say that about a Scott Snyder book, that's saying a lot. I felt like this was all set up. I don't know if it was or not. I felt like, I don't know, it felt like it was way too fast. It wasn't bad by no means, don't get me wrong. It's still top tier work. I kind of actually, it kind of gave me the same feeling that that Venom number 2 did. It was good. It just, I was expecting it to be so much better. After how good 1 was, I felt the same way after I read Venom 2 as I do now after reading this. Like, I expected it to be just so much better just because number 1 was amazing. And I know that's unrealistic. There has to be setup. It can't just be wild story arc over here and constant action over here. You have to have some kind of setup. But I don't know. It's still really good. The Flash is having some problems with his power. I don't know. They're saying that, like, he's saying that he thinks it's the Turtle. Isn't that his name, or Turtle Man? I think it's just Turtle is his name. And he does, what was it? The Still Force it's supposed to be the opposite of the Speed Force. I think it's the Still Force. But no, it's that's kind of neat. I don't think it's gonna end up being Turtle. I think it's gonna be the totality that they're going up against. That's the name of this thing that's on planet Earth. I absolutely love that John Stewart is going to be the Green Lantern in Justice League. He, as of right now, at the end of this, mild spoiler, I think most people wouldn't know by now, even if you didn't read it, but he becomes ultraviolet core. He's a ultraviolet Lantern. So, that's going to change. He's going to go back to Green Lantern. He has to. But John Stewart is my favorite Green Lantern, so I'm super stoked about that. What else? I love Lex Luthor. I love the way Snyder writes Lex Luthor. Like, he's just insane. He's a genius, but he's just insane. I love that they brought Swamp Thing in. That's awesome, because I'm a huge Swamp Thing fan. And even just for a little tiny bit, whatever he can get is awesome. Which I'm really glad they're going to start doing Justice League Dark again, so that he can get a little bit more screen time, if you will. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I hope I'm not ruining this dude's name because I really like him. But Jorge Jimenez, I'm not sure how you say it. But his art is amazing. Like, he is... Man, he might be the best. He might be the best Justice League drawer I've seen in ever. I can't think of a prettier art style right now. I just can't. He doesn't, like, he does every character justice. I think that's what really blows me away about his art, is that he does every single character justice. Like, usually you have in a team book like this, there's going to be somebody's going to look better than the others. I mean, it's always, a lot of people can't draw Superman. It's just the way it is. A lot of people make their living off just drawing Superman because he's hard to draw, apparently. From what I'm not an artist or nothing, but I pay attention to what a lot of artists say, and I've heard and read a lot of artists say that Superman is really hard to get right. And so if they can get him right, then they usually get a job doing, drawing him, because he's hard. By the way, Hawk Girl is fucking hot. Man, he's drawing her way too hot. Like, I'm just saying, there shouldn't be a fictional character look that good. But anyway, no, I'm loving the Legion of Doom stuff. That's probably, I think that's the coolest thing that's came out of the Justice League relaunch, is the Legion of Doom. That was something that's been missing for a while. A lot of people wanted it back. Whether they wanted to admit it or not, a lot of people wanted it back. It's too cool, man. It's part of history. But I don't know. It's good. It just didn't blow my socks off like number one did. I would still give it. I'd still give it a 7 out of 10. It's a solid book. It really is. Especially the artwork. The art is just amazing. And I mean, the story is always going to be good from Snyder. I don't care who you are. The story is always going to be good. It just felt like it was set up for the next book, is what it felt like. It felt like he needed a little bit of breathing room between 1 and 3, and so that's what this was. It felt like. I don't know if that's true or not, but it went by way too fast, but not in the good way. 1 felt that way too, but felt like it went by too fast because I was enjoying every single panel. This felt like it went by too fast because I was waiting for something to happen and it never did. It kind of did when Jon Stewart finally shows up on Earth. That's kind of what I was waiting for, but nothing came of it. Like, we're gonna have to wait for the next issue. And that's why I said it feels like filler to me, because this whole issue felt like one big cliffhanger. The whole thing felt like a cliffhanger, which is, I mean, it is what it is. Everything has to have it. TV shows have to have it. You have to have a filler episode. Hell, some shows you have to have a filler season. The Walking Dead has that. Sons of Anarchy did that a lot. They had the whole seasons that was just set up for the next season. That's the way it is. That's the way storytelling goes. You have to have a setup for the punchline to work. But no, it was really good. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't as good as number 1. Oh, by the way, I should probably mention who did what, shouldn't I? Give credit where credit is due. Scott Snyder's the writer. Jorge Jimenez. Sorry, like I said, if I messed it up. He's the artist. Alejandro Sanchez is colors. Tom Napolitano is letters. Jimenez and Sanchez did the cover, which was this cover, right? Yeah. And Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Alex Sinclair did the variant cover. And that is this dope-ass Martian Manhunter cover. But anyway, there you go. That's my review of Justice League number 2. It probably, as much of a fanboy as I am, it probably sounded like excuses for why I think it was still good, even though it wasn't as good as number 1. But I really do. I think it's still great. It's still better than most of the stuff out. It just wasn't as good as number 1. Kind of, same way I feel about Venom. Venom number 1 was miles ahead of Venom number 2. Don't tell Donnie that, but anyway, if you like this review, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you don't like it, then please leave a comment telling me why you didn't.